Good afternoon. My name is Alina Shevtsova. I am an employment discrimination attorney from New York. This video is about how and when to complain about discrimination. Title VII of the federal law and also many states have mirroring statutes prohibit discrimination at workplaces. And it can be private employment or it can be employment with the state. But not every type of discrimination is outlawed. For example, if the boss does not like you because you're wearing red color to work or because your shoes are not shiny and the boss just not a nice person, then Title VII unfortunately does not protect the person from discrimination. But if the boss does not like you and harassing you because you are a woman or because you are pregnant or because you're getting older or because you helped someone else who was discriminated, then Title VII does protect you. So it's not every type of discrimination, but selected grounds for discrimination that specifically outlined by law that provide person protection. For example, national origin, race, gender, sex, sexual orientation, disability, age. So how and when to complain about situations? Well, if you feel that you are being discriminated, and it can come from many different situations. Let's say you don't receive a promotion, or you feel like you started being written up more often, or you're written up for the things that others are not, or somebody speaking on you, making comments about your appearance as a girl, or making comments about your appearance as a guy, or it can be many different little things that you don't feel comfortable with. The first thing to do would be to go to your employer and submit your complaint in writing. And you can basically state to your supervisor or to HR department if you have such, saying that my name is so-and-so and I feel that I'm being discriminated or singled out by such and such because, and you provide your reasons. It's very important that you do it in writing because from my experience, very often, if you do it not in writing, but verbally, later on, the employer says that employer had no idea that it was happening and it never happened. So do it in writing. Who to complain to? Well, many would go to the union first, if they have a union. I would say you need to go to both. Why? Because again, the law provides distinctions. If you didn't complain to your employer but complain to the union, and union never ever brought this issue in writing that you feel you're being discriminated against, in addition for the employer to be violating collective bargaining agreement, for example, you're again going to be out of luck, okay? And you will have very hard time proving that you in fact complained about discrimination to your employer. So let's say you complained about discrimination. What can you expect next? If your employer does the right thing, nothing bad should happen to you. The employer should conduct an investigation, interviewing people who you mentioned in your complaint, and employer should not be retaliating against you. Unfortunately, this is not the reality, and very often employer, and especially the supervisor or person you complained about, will feel that you shouldn't have done that, and now you are the bad person and you are the bad guy. So from that point on, from the point you bring your complaint, you should really document everything that's happening to you. If you can, keep the copies of documents or emails. Sometimes people, in my practice, people tell me that they start receiving funny notes at their place, funny pictures, suggesting different things, comments into their face. It can be anything. It can be that your supervisor stopped saying hi to you and everybody else is noticing that and it's not comfortable for you and everybody's understanding that something's happening and it makes the environment of your work to be unwelcoming and hostile. Okay? If your complaint died in HR department, what do? Do you stop? Absolutely not. You go to EEOC if your employer has 15 employees or more, or you go to the local division of human rights. That's what you do. Because nobody should be experiencing discrimination based on protected ground, or any ground if you ask me, at their job, because this is not what you're being paid for, right? You're being paid for to do your job, not to be a subject of mockery and discrimination. You submit your complaint to EEOC. It's very, very important to know about the deadlines, and there is a video here about various deadlines that you need to observe when you are submitting your case. But the real case starts with not internal complaint really, but with a complaint to EEOC. When EEOC, or Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, is going to accept your case and look at what's happening in the place of employment. So that's how you complain. I always suggest that first you address the issue with your employer, and hopefully it will be the issue will be closed. If not, then you go further. And the final step that you take is you go to court after you receive a right to sue letter from EEOC. So those are the steps, okay? And you can read more information about various aspects of employment discrimination law on our website, workharassmentattorneys.com. Thank you.